my Nana, the way she flew up, the way, like, it was almost like lightning. She said, whew, why you keep playing with him? But the look on her face, it was like, even if she didn't say nothing, her face said something. So Beth like, let me go. She said, swing on me, please. Act like I'm him. Swing on me. Come on, I want you to. Y'all keep going back and forth. Y'all want to fight so bad. So Beth like, look at my car. Look at my car. So Cody like, sit there, go get Beth mom. Go get Beth mom. They go get Beth mom. My Nana, whew. When I'm talking about my Nana had a hammed up, you know that hammed up, they get you like, ooh. That hammed up, they got your shirt and seemed like it got your windpipe like you choking. That's what my Nana was on. My Nana was on pure, straight, I'm about to hit it where it hurts at. She let Beth go. Boo, she said, let me tell you something. You keep on. I told you to leave him alone. If you got a problem, you ring the bell and you say what he did. If he ain't do not say, Nana, she was on the porch. I told her to get off the porch so I can get inside the house. She said, so you looking for trouble. You looking for trouble. So now I was like, is this where my mama get it from? Like now I'm starting to see where the anger is coming from. So I'm like, I think my mama, because it felt like my mom was in the building. It felt like she was in the building. So boom, Joanne comes out. She like, what's going on now? So my Nana was like, well, let me tell you what's going on. Your daughter want to be on the porch acting like trying to bully my grandson. I'm not dealing with that. Now, I don't mind beating up on no kid or no teenager or no adult. Straight like that. So I'm like, I want to tell Nana, like, Nana, chill. But it's like, let her do her thing because her face was like, because I'm like, oh, I didn't even think that was her. That had to be somebody else at the time. So I'm like, I'll wait till Nana come back to earth. And I'll be like, Nana, I got it. I'll handle it. So Joanne like, what happened? How did it start? So my Nana like, I don't got time to hear nothing about how nothing started. If anything happening, they need to come to adults. You hear me, Rody Dody? If she do something, I'm like, all I was trying to do is get out. She said, do you hear me? I said, yes. Yes, ma'am, I hear you. She said, same go with you, Beth. Don't put your hands on him because I'm going to put my hands on you. And so Joanne said, how about we don't put no hands? She said, Joanne, I don't care about nothing you saying, okay? I am not May. I am not May. And she walked off and Mark was just sitting there like, they got treated. I'm like, come on, man. He like, treated. So my Nana like, get in the house. So Caleb, everybody, boom, we all run in the house, right? So my Nana asked me like detail of what happened. So I told her the script of what happened. And so she said, you next time, soon as you see her walking up, getting your personal space, you knock her clean out. You knock her straight out. You got that? I said, yeah. She said, how was work? I tell her how work was. Tell her I got to work tomorrow. And also, I got to go and make that little extra credit. So I'm this my second day. So I got to do one more day after that. Then boom, I'm done. So she like, your mama might be coming in tomorrow or the next day. So I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm nervous because I don't want her to come home. I don't want her to come home. Like, the lady stressed me out. I don't want her to come home. So I was like, okay. So boom, I go in my room. She like, Rody Dody. I'm like, yeah. She like, my phone. I'm like, oh. I'm like, here you go. So boom, I'm like, can I see the house phone real quick? She said, after you shower. I go shower, right? I grab the house phone. Boom. Straight. I'm going to tell y'all exactly who I called because I got a plan. I called the girl with the scar. She didn't pick up. So I'm like, I got the phone. So I'm going to call anybody who going to pick up for me, right? Because it was like, I got the phone. Let me utilize this time. So boom, I hit Raymond up. Raymond like, yo, what's going on? He was like, I was just going to hit you up. He was like, I didn't know if I could come down there and ring the bell. I'm like, ring the bell? I'm like, what's up? He like, my girl throwing a party. I'm like, for real? He like, yeah, tonight. He like, it's a late night party. It's a card game. I'm like, oh, that's what's up. He like, you should stop by. He like, we could get lit. I'm like, I don't think my Nana gonna let me out. First off, it's like almost 1 o'clock. It's almost 1 a.m., okay? I got off work late. We normally close at 11. You think she finna let, and I gotta go make extra credit. She not finna let me out, and I'm not even finna set myself up to ask. So he like, man, at least come, at least hit the L with me. Come hit the L with me. So I'm like, bet. I'm like, I'll find a way out. So as I'm talking to him, you hear do. I'm like, it's open. It's Mark. He on the F it up challenge. He like, bro, you gonna let that slide? I'm like, So Raymond like, what are you talking about? I'm like, nothing. Me and Beth just got into it. My nana had to come out there. I'm like, I bust her car window, you know. Tell him. He's like, what? He's like, how did I miss that? He's like, I literally just walked past your block. I'm like, it literally just happened. Maybe you call us going. He's like, I just saw Beth on her porch. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, we just got into it. I said, but I got a plan though. He's like, what's your plan? So Marky like, yeah, I want to know. What you finna do? And so I'm like, look, let me call you back, Raymond. He like, all right. So I hung up with Raymond. I say, you saw us on the phone. He like, yeah. He like, I'm on that. I'm on that with her. All right, listen. I called the girl with the scar. He like, what's she supposed to do? I'm like, bro, trust me. I got the best plan ever. I said, I just need to know when mom coming back exactly. He like, couple of days. I'm like, no, because Nana just told me she might come home tomorrow or the next day. So I gotta know in between that time. So I'm like, I gotta keep getting drilled. Nana, I'm like, and if you told them I'll try to like low-key drill her, but I'm like, we can get the answer if we have Caleb to ask mom exactly when her and dad is coming home. He like, and then what you gonna do? I'm like, don't worry about that. He like, well, I wanna be there. I'm like, you can be there. I'm like, but I gotta work tomorrow. So I'm like, I'm trying to get on the phone. What else you want? He like, look, he like, come downstairs. He like, I got a little pizza. I'm like, no. I'm like, first off, I smoked that word. Now I'm telling him everything that happened, right? I'm whispering to him and telling him everything that happened. So I'm like, and Raymond, he throwing a little party right now. His girlfriend, he like, let's go. I'm like, how? You think Nana finna let us out that late? He like, look. And he turned my head. I was looking at him. He like, look. He turned my head directly at the window. I looked at him and I said, you gotta be kidding me, right? He like, no. He like, we could just go for like 30, 40 minutes. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I said, let's wait till Nana go to sleep. So he like, all right, bet. I'm like, just go get dressed. So boom, he leave out my room. I call Raymond back. I'm like, look, when your party over? He like, man, you know, we just gonna be up. We just smoking a crib out, stuff like that. It's her friend's birthday party, but a couple of days, but we just having it early before. So we just having a good day, you know, good night's house or whatever. Now, normally when they kick it, you get everybody coming through. Okay, they bringing their friends. They're like, cause I've been to one of his girlfriend parties before, so I already know how this go. So I'm like, all right, cool, bet. I'm like, look, me and Mark gonna sneak out the window. I'm gonna bring Mark with me. He like, all right, bet. I'm like, we'll probably end up popping out in an hour. We want to make sure Nana is asleep. So an hour passed. Nana is still woke. Still woke, okay? So I'm like, man, I'm trying to think what I'm gonna do. So I'm in the kitchen like, is this lady going to bed? Because she's just in the living room and I'm in the kitchen like with my hands and elbows on the counter just like, I'm not even dressed yet, okay? So I'm like, she gotta be, is she not getting sleepy? Like, she needs some NyQuil. So I went back upstairs. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to just get dressed. So I end up getting low-key dressed. Went in my mom's room, grabbed her robe. I tied the robe up. Now I'm walking around in the robe. So I go back towards the kitchen. Mark comes up. I'm like, he like, no, I'm just, what you waiting on? He like, let's just go. I'm like, she still woke. What if she call our name? He like, she is late. What she want from us? I'm like, yeah, you right. So we going up the stairs, right? He like, why you got on mama robe? I'm like, look. He like, oh, spot. So I go ahead, tied up. Now, as we going up the stairs, it's like soon, because we go up the stairs, then you got to hit that little slight little corner. Here come Kayla like, oh, you scared me. I'm like, my nana like, Caleb, are you okay, boo man? I'm like, so we hurry up, we shot in my room. He was like, no, I just got scared. I thought I saw a bug. I'm like, all I hear is tap, 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 tap. I'm like, Mark, I'm gonna hurt him. Oh, but I said, get in here. I grab you. Like, don't wrinkle my shirt. I'm like, first off, this is a holy shirt. You got holes all in the shirt. I said, why did you yell at her? He like, you scared me. He was like, I was just coming downstairs to see if Uncle Mookie was woke because I want her to watch me play Crash. I said, Caleb, it's late. Go to bed. He like, but it's no school. I'm like, I said, Caleb, get out of my room. He like, no, I came here to ask you something. I have a question. I'm like, what's the question? So Marky like, he do not act like mom. He like, and you don't act like mom. You the adopted one. He like, hold on, wait. I said, why are you making that face? He like, I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, I'm looking at him, his whole face turned red. This boy done farted in my room. He like, I had to give you that. And left out the room when I'm telling you, and it was sour. Marky left out. I'm like, he like, oh my God. So my nana comes up the stairs, and Marky hurry over. He like, hey, come nana. Because you can hear her coming up the stairs. So she knocks on my room door. I'm like, get behind the door. Get behind the door. So I made sure the robe, everything was covered so she couldn't see nothing. I said, hey, nana. She said, what's going on? I'm like, me and Kayla were just wrestling. She said, it's late, and you know you got to get up in the morning. I said, yeah, I do. I said, nana, can I ask you a question? She said, yeah. I said, when you know mom come home tomorrow or she's coming the next day? She said, nana, she probably come tomorrow night. I'm like, okay. So she said, why? I'm like, no, I just wanted to know because I already know the next door neighbor going to tell on me. She said, don't worry. I'm going to make sure I talk to your mom. You're not going to be in trouble. I'm like, okay, see, that really wasn't why I was asking. I just threw that in there. So, boom, I shut the door. Mark comes from behind. He like, bro. I'm like, what? He like, that was the best you can do? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it worked. He like, let's get out the window. So I'm like, all right. So, boom, we let up the window. I unlocked the thing. Boom, popped the whole window out. Now, we got nothing but space and opportunity. And we got that gate. Now, mind you, that gate is right here. My window ledge is right here. You gotta have daddy long legs to at least put your leg on the gate to make sure you can at least catch the gate and climb down to get yourself off. It's no way that you could just let go from my window and think that complete drop you're gonna land. You're gonna hurt yourself. So Marky like, he gonna go first. He said, I'm gonna go first. I'm looking at him like, okay, you can go first. He like, hey, tie the sheet up. I'm like, I'm gonna hold you down. He like, no, man, just tie the sheet. I'm like, all right, so boom. I tie the sheet, boom. He make it down now. Perfect success. Now, I don't got nobody to help me out. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna hold on to the gate and I'm gonna do it the original way. Now, as I'm halfway in the window, bro, the house phone ring. And it's late. I never took the cordless phone back downstairs. I still had it in my room because, mind you, I was calling Raymond. I called the girl with the sky. So I was like, oh my God. So Marky like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'll be right back. So I go back inside, like, because I was halfway in the window, halfway out the window. So I go back inside. I hurried up and pick up the phone. I'm like, hello? And my nana pick up like, hello? I'm like, and I hung up. But when I hung up, whoever that was that called, they on the phone with my nana. My nana come knocking at the door. I'm like, oh my God. My window is wide open. The actual window is on the floor. The window is exposed. So I'm like grabbing and just trying to not lock the window back and just prop it up. Right? I'm just trying to prop it up. So I hurried up trying to prop it. She like, Brody Doty. I'm like, oh my God. I was kind of like having a little difficulties. I was having a little difficulties trying to like at least prop the window in there so it won't fall out. So I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, man, forget this. Because if I open the door all the way, she's going to see. It's nothing in my room. I can't even had the window part. So what I did was I took the window part and I put it right behind the door and I cracked the door. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I got no clothes on. She like, your friend should not be calling late at night here. And she gave me the phone. I'm like, okay. So she fed it through the thing. She didn't know that I still had the house phone in the room. But I'm assuming that whatever the phone that she grabbed, she probably grabbed the basement phone. So she probably was downstairs about to get ready to lay down. So boom, I grabbed the phone. I'm like, hello, it's the girl with the scar. She like, you called? I'm like, why did you call? She like, I thought this was your cell phone number. I'm like, no, that's my house number. I'm like, but I need you to do a favor for me. I'm like, hey, show up to the school tomorrow. She like, I'll be there. I'm like, promise? She like, I promise. I'm like, all right. I'm like, I'm going to tell you everything tomorrow. She like, all right, cool. I'll hang up the phone, right? So I'm like, should I put the phone back? So I'm like, I'm going to put the phone back because I didn't want to give my Nana a reason to come back and knock on the door and ask for the house phone. So as I open the door, my Nana is chilling in the hallway. Just standing in the hallway. I'm like, ooh, hey, Nana. I'm like, here go the phone. She like, what they want? I'm like, I had made a phone call. I called them and they called me back. She like, so a girl calling you this late? I'm like, yes. She said, okay. Your mama took the phone out the room, right? I'm like, yeah, she did. She said, okay. I said, but remember I asked you, can I see the phone? That's who I called. She never picked up, so she probably was calling me back. She said, okay. Make sure you let your friends know, don't call her late. I'm like, I'm sorry, Nana. She said, okay. She like, I'm about to go lay down. I'm like, okay, good night. She like, good night, I love you. I'm like, I love you too. So she walked away. I'm like, whew, Jesus. So now I get back in my room. I shut the door. I look out the window. Marky like, you forgot I'm down here? Come on, man. I'm like, shut up. So now I get back through the window. Now I'm kind of like struggling a little bit because my legs is not that long. My legs is not that long. Boom, I get my leg on the thing. I'm like, oh, but my arm ain't that long. I'm like, oh. So it's like, I'm like, oh, Mark, like, just let go. I'm like, I can't just let go. He like, you want me to come catch you? I'm like, no. No, I do not want you to come catch me. I don't want you to come catch me. Why would I want you to come catch me? I got this. So I'm like, but in my mind, like, man, maybe I should have took that offer. You feel me? So I'm like, okay. So I got my arms spread out. I'm like, I'm just going to let go. I'm just going to let go. I let go. When I let go, it wasn't like I landed perfectly. I landed bogus as. Boom, boom. He like dying laughing. Mark is laughing his soul out. I'm like, help me up, my arm. Now, mind you, I had already hit Beth's car window. So my knuckles was hurting too. So I was a little sore. So he like, you good? You straight, bro? I'm like, yeah. He like, the sheet. So now the sheet is kind of halfway hanging because I didn't use the sheet. He like, now we got to find a way to pull that sheet down. He like, did you lock your room door? I'm like, I'm paranoid. I don't know if I did or not. I'm like, I don't know. He like, go check. If I climb back up there, I'm staying. I'm not climbing back up there, Jose. So boom, me and Mark, we break off, right? We break off running. We go to his Raymond and Way. Ain't nobody on the block. But when we get close to his girlfriend's house, right? Remember, she stayed at the end of that block. It's people coming in, her light on. She got the door kind of cracked. So, you know, it's people it's dudes in the front, right? So it ain't like you could just straight walk up. But they real low key. You get in the inside. Oh my God. So I'm like, where Raymond at, y'all? Where Raymond? They like, oh, Rody Doty. They like, Rody Doty came out of play. Because everybody knew on the block my mom was super strict. And any friend I had, she was always in their business. And she would always con them to know anything that I was doing that I shouldn't be doing when I was around them. So everybody happy that I'm in the set. They like, where your mom at? Woo. They like, oh man, it's Marky in the building. So I'm the most popular one when it comes out of me and Mark, when it comes to friends and all that. So we all in there, all my friends around me, they, bro, come on. They got the kegs. Because some of them are grown. They got the kegs. We drinking, we getting lit. So I'm like, all right. I was already looking at the time already because they had a time and a clock in the living room. So I'm like, I know I got to get ready to get in the house. So I'm like, Marky, we're going to leave in a little bit. So Raymond come, he like, bro, let's go out in the back. We went in the back. He rolled up a fat Philly. But I knew after this Philly, we need to dip. So I said, Mark, look, after this, we going to go. He like, man, why? I'm like, I got to get up in the morning. He like, I'll go with you. I'm like, no, you can go on the last day. He like, all right, cool. I'm like, look, all I need you to do is ride with me on this plan. He like, what's the plan? I'm like, the word. So I'm like, what y'all over there whispering about? I'm like, look, I'm trying to tell him I got a plan. He like, yeah, you told me. I'm like, I got something for Beth. He like, what you gonna do? I'm like, just watch me. I'm like, you know, now look, here's the deal. I think just like my mom. Okay? So in order to get me out this spin, I got a plan. So boom, Raymond trying to get the plan out of me, and I ain't said nothing. He rolls up, boom, now I tap out. I was like, I know when I had enough. I ain't got to keep going to know I had enough. So I'm like, man, I'm good. So Mark like, man, Mark kept going. His eyes closed like this, look like it's glued. He's still trying to. You over there looking like you from Philippines. I'm like, Mark, you had enough? He like, nah, man. Boy, can you see? So I'm like, look, Raymond, we gonna dip. So Mark like, wow. I'm like, man, we gonna dip. So boom, Raymond like, all right, I'm gonna walk y'all. So boom, Raymond walk us close to the crib. So he stopped us. He like, all right. I'm like, we got to go through the window door. We got to go through the window though. He like, the window? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, my mom got alarms. It'd be like, front door now opening, back door now opening. I'm like, and it do the living room windows, but it don't do the rooms. So he was like, oh, she got one of them little smart alarms. Not that y'all on lockdown. He like, y'all want to make sure y'all getting the window safe then? I'm like, you funny. No, we got it from here. He like, all right, bet. He like, you need some loud. Here go Marky. Yeah. Yeah. We need some. I'm like, boy, you up there looking like Stevie Wonder. Nah, we don't need, we good. He like, all right, I'm like, we good. He like, make sure you tell me the plan. I'm like, all right, cool. Shake up, he gone. So I'm like, Marky, you go first. He like, nah, you go first. I'm like, look, you go first. He like, how can I go first? I'm like, you know what, stay right here. I'm gonna go first so I can get the sheet. Okay, and I'll be the one to drag you in. He like, okay. I'm climbing on the gate. My window wide open. So I'm like, okay. It's because it's dark in there. So I cut the light off. So I'm like, that let me know nobody been in my room. So I'm like, try to hold on to the latch. Fingertips, it burnt my fingertips a little bit. The concrete messed it up. I'm like, so Marky like, you good? I'm like, I got it. I'm like, he like, come on, man, don't be a wuss. I'm like, be quiet. So I do it again. And I got it this time. Now I'm like kind of hanging a little bit. I'm hanging off the ledge a little bit, but I got it. So I need to lift myself up. As I'm lifting myself up, somebody pulls me in the window. So as they put me in the window, my nana flipped the light on, and she like, where are you coming from?